Hey guys, got a very special guest here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, my name's Cloud the Boy. My real name's Rene, but you guys might know me as Blue Boy Rene. I used to be a very big competitive player back in 2014 to 2017, and I'm in the United States.
United States,
Thanks
yeah?
for having me. Yeah.
Alright. So how did you get into the game?
Shit. Back in high school, I was like in a very like small farm town, just moved to this like small city, and in this high school, they had some people that were playing the game, and I always was like very interested in it, like throughout my life. But that was the first time I ever like saw people like actually playing it. So I just started playing at the school's table and stuff, and then afterward, I got someone showed me like what meta was, and like I had no clue that like there was this whole like alter like thoughts of like reality of what to do like in matches, and like I started learning like a little bit about like what the competitive scene was, and then I just started like growing from there. But in 2014, that's like the year I went the most craziest, because there's this really nice group. It's called Zodiac Duelist. It's owned by Roddy. I'm sure you
Nobody
guys
knows of
still
that group. Nobody here knows of that group. I guarantee you.
who Zodiac.
Yeah, no one knows of that group. Definitely.
You're fucking with me.
Sarcasm is heavily implied here.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I didn't know how they were doing stuff. I actually really miss talking to John and Robbie. I was pretty good friends with them actually, even after the whole shenanigan, because like I was very able to get a reaction out of the whole fucking community, and I just kind of like ran with it, and it led to like a couple sponsorships. I got to travel around for free to a couple places, and had some incredible journeys, just doing different things, meeting like people that I never thought would like ever be like possible to me. Like I remember one time, and I actually told this person about this too. Way back, like in high school, like I remember reading stories about this guy named Billy Brake, and I was like, dude, this guy is so cool. And I actually tried like messaging like his Facebook or something, like way back in like 2012, like before like I even got like really into it. And like I was telling him like this like mushy like sob story about like how like I really wanted to meet him and stuff. Like he was kind of like important to me. Like he was like a role model to me kind of. And then like once ever I started like playing at events, even played him in like a top four thing in like Chicago. It was for like the Ascension Dragon prize card back then.
Was
It
this
was really fun.
YCS or?
Yeah, it was at a YCS.
Alright, so you top
Um,
font. We'll go over your
yeah, no,
accolades in a bit.
huh?
We'll go over your accolades in a bit. So like all your premier tops and all that.
Oh yeah. It was just something like small to tie in, because like it really was a really cool experience for me, because like I went from like being no one to like meeting people that were like my heroes and stuff. And I remember telling Billy that story, and like I'm pretty pretty decent friends still with like everybody over there. So like it's really crazy how I got started in my career, but I was really happy about that.
Alright, you said some shenanigans happened. Can I ask what that was about? Because I actually don't know. If it's okay for you to talk
Uh,
about.
yeah, no, I actually completely just blanked out what I was just saying a second ago.
So no, you said
No,
you.
no.
Sorry.
I actually might need some help. I actually forgot what I just was talking about.
Alright.
Um,
Oh, basically you were just talking about like you used to like Zodiac Duelist, but then some shenanigans happened or something.
oh yeah, no, I basically trolled the whole fucking like community. So back then, Zodiac Duelist was like 20,000 people. Like it was very like in its early stages compared to what it is now. Zodiac Duelist was very a lot of things were happening. People were just like blowing up out of nowhere, and then like just dying off like really quick. And I actually like pointed like I actually made it like a reference in like my small friend group at the time. Like, does anybody notice that like there's like a pattern to like how like the community decides like who stays popular or whatever? And the guy right before me that got like really popular and like stayed popular without like getting like a crazy ban or anything was actually a guy named well, he went by Stratos, but his name is Daniel Barnes. Um, but he was a very big big person back then, and I just like kind of just was timing myself, waiting for like the right opportunity to kind of like strike. And I saw like so many people just like before me, just like they try doing something, they just get insta banned. So I was just like timing it right, and I just got lucky with it. I basically trolled the whole fucking server, got myself like a whole like nickname that like the server created. I just I went crazy with it, and then like whenever I got my attention, I knew that there was going to be a next step. And I always tell this to anybody that like tries to do like controversial stuff, because this is like the key, like the most important part, and this is the part where like people fail or make it. As soon as like you go through the whole like marketing stage at first, you go and like have everybody talking about you, there's going to be some dude that's going to check you, some dude that's going to be like, okay, well, if you're so hot shit, let's play. So I knew that was going to happen, and by none other than actually Stratos himself. He was the one that decided to go and call me out on that, and it became like this streamed Zodiac event where like every like it was one of like the very first like having me like on the scene like playing and stuff, and it was so bad because we played so horribly, and it was so funny like just reading the comments. It really sparked like the first ignition of my like crazy shenanigans like were to come forward. And like it brought up like a lot of friendships. Like there was this one time I was on at YCS Dallas. It was my very first YCS. It was in 2014, I believe. And it was a very big deal because it was the first event that I showed up at, and I did a lot of signing for people. I did like it was very cool. Like I never expected to walk into a place and people know who I am, coming up, taking pictures with me, sign like having me sign stuff. I was like, oh my god, unreal. And not only was it unreal in the sense that it was like a really awesome memory, it also had a really bad memory at it too. Because at the time, whenever I was leaving Texas, me and our group of like a couple guys, keep in mind we're all like 18, like none of us are really like older, old enough to really get, know what we're doing. But our vehicle breaks down, and it led to where like we couldn't get out, and I forget how we figured it out. Like we ended up like coming up with like money to go and like fix our vehicle to go and get home. But like I tried running something on Zodiac, and no one actually donated to it, but there was like a bunch of people that claimed that like they donated to me. And like the next day I ended up buying Super Smash Bros for my for my DS, and like it led to this whole controversy throughout like all of Zodiac about like how I was like scamming people to go and like get money to go and buy Smash. And it was like a giant debacle. And I guarantee you, anybody that like remembers that, like it was a huge thing. So there's just like a bunch of like crazy things where like I just like showed up at events, people wanting to fight me, people wanting to do like all kinds of crazy stuff with me. I kind of lived like I don't know, it was unique. I liked it though.
Okay. Wasn't
Sorry, I just
expecting that.
rambled.
So back to actual Yu-Gi-Oh. What's been your like most prestigious event or like favorite event, and what's been your worst?
Um, honestly, this okay. You're gonna laugh at this. The
I've already
very
been laughing,
worst.
so
Oh God. I don't really have like a worst event. Like most of my events were pretty much the same. Like they're always like super high energy. I never really had like a bad event. Like I never went somewhere and like regretted going there. Now there was like in terms of like my favorite event probably still would be actually that story. Actually, hold up. No, there's probably one in Seattle. So I don't know if you know who like Mike Hilario is.
yeah, Slim.
But
Slim's cool.
yeah, Slim. Yeah, shout out Slim. Him and Golden Goats, and I know they're like disbanding right now, but and it really sad to hear. But like shout out them. Like I really actually like them. Johnny Newen, and I like them all. They're actually all like really cool people. But either way, so like I was in Seattle, and like I just started smoking marijuana like really recently to that time,
Yikes.
and I didn't know how to really act. So I went to Seattle, where it's legal to smoke marijuana at a YCS.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy. Uh,
I was not
I
expecting this when I asked you to for the interview.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Like my life's like an open story now. Like I'm very like open about like who I am and what I do and stuff. I'm very honest about like what I am now. Like I don't care about what like I do. I stand up for it or whatever. But yeah, so I decided to go like first day, got there, saw a lot of friends, started making like more connections and stuff, and like one of my friends ended up taking me out, and we had like 7 or 8 joints. Like I bought this little like small pack. I had like 7 or 8 joints in it. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. So we went out, we drank, whatever. Went back to this hotel. There's like a bunch of fucking pro players. Like I'm talking like players from like fuck the card guys. Yeah, not PPG. PPG. PPG was there. I think PPG Jobber. We had like a bunch of different like pro players there. And we were all smoking and stuff. And I keep in mind, I was really, really new to smoking, and I did not expect this at all. So I was just passing out joints, whatever. And while we're smoking, out of nowhere, while we're all in a circle, I like projectile vomit in the middle of the group, and like everybody just like leaves. I'm like, fuck.
Projectile vomiting.
And, so it started off pretty weird. Went inside, got myself all cleaned up and stuff, and then I saw like Max Reynolds, like Jeff's boyfriend person. I really like that guy.
Boyfriend
Uh,
person, okay.
went inside and saw him, and he was talking about like how he really wanted a margarita, but like he didn't like want to go get a margarita or whatever. And it's a margarita. It was like $10 or something. I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I went over, got him a margarita, gave him a margarita, talked to him, and it was a really cool night. I got to like really experience like talking to like some of my like favorite players like in the most like craziest like experience. Like I never would have expected to see like a whole hotel full of like pro players that all knew me and were like really cool with me. And even after projectile vomiting everywhere.
So
Uh,
smoking marijuana got you to meet pro players. That's a good lesson to teach.
yeah,
It's awful.
it was a great event. I really like that, and I met some like really close friends that I'm like even where I just moved to like San Francisco. Like I got like really close friends here from that event, and it really led to like some good things. So those were probably like the more memorable events, like playing events like that. That was like the same weekend I was playing like some weird zoo variant, and like I forget all that shit. I don't remember. It was crazy. It was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Alright,
Max
so
broke.
a lot of people may not know this, but you don't play Yu Gi Oh! Right now, right?
Yes, correct. I haven't been playing really since 2017, which was my last like real like time I like really tried playing competitively. I just showed up one time doing a regional. I just showed up, got seventh, whatever. But yeah, no, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Instead, I decided to go and like really do some growing exploration on myself and seeing like where I really could go. And now I do. I make music. I'm a musical recording artist. That's why I actually go by Cloud the Boy, or for short, Cloud. I do make like emo hip hop or like trap metal, and it's very interesting because like at first whenever I first started making music, like there was a lot of people that like really told me like I wasn't gonna do anything with it, and like I was really bad at first. But now I'm very proud to say that I'm playing downtown in San Francisco at one of the hottest nightclubs, DNA Lounge, next month on the 15th, and I actually have tickets for sale too. But I'm starting to do like a lot of like really cool things. I'm getting on like crazy stages with people. I'm meeting so many connections, and it's really like a dream that's starting to come true, just like it did in Yu-Gi-Oh, except now with music.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
So, something you can actually teach someone, well, some people, and it actually help them. um, uh, when people want to stop playing this game, because like I'll be honest, Yu-Gi-Oh is a great thing for like you as a person, but too much of it can be really bad for you. And a lot of people
Yeah,
want to either rage quit while they're ahead, but like I've seen countless people either rage quit and then come straight back and then find it really hard to leave, or just like what Patrick Hoban did, find something much better than Yu-Gi-Oh and just focus on that. That kind of thing.
Actually, me and Pat are actually pretty good friends. That's actually the best method is to find something that you're so passionate about that it really like it drives you more than anything. It has to be really like kind of like your hustle. So for Pat, he started Parvenu. That company is his hustle. It's what makes him money at the end of the day. For me, music is my hustle. It's something that I really fell in love with. I knew how to do, and I knew how to make money out of. Um, so at the end of the day, like it's something that like I can really chase, and like now I have dreams. I'm seeing stuff that are like unreal, like happening. Like whenever you really start chasing your dreams and exploring like who you are, um, that doesn't mean you won't leave. It what it more means it'll tell you more about yourself about like where you should go because Yu-Gi-Oh was a very very fun thing for me. I had so much fun playing it. I honestly thought I would like open up a card shop and everything. Um, but then like I started like really exploring myself and I learned like whenever I started doing music it really turned my direction on like a lot of things like how I view people. I used to be such a bitter person. I used to be such a I was a little bit stuck up a little bit like I never really said it and like not a lot of people like knew it, but like I was definitely very like low key, like stuck up about shit. And I don't know, I've changed so much. Like I've really grown into a much healthier person, and becoming a healthier person kind of made me also stop wanting to play Yu-Gi-Oh because there is a lot of toxicity in the community back then. I don't know about now. I'm sure they've done a lot, especially with John and Robbie. I know John really cares about the community. I know he's worked so much to go and try and make things
John
better.
Moore, yeah,
Yeah, John Moore, House of Champs, yeah, House
yeah.
of Champs, yeah. Uh, him and Simo, and there's just so many people that I know that like there is good in the community. There's just also a lot of bad that people tend to look at also. But I really think like whenever you start like realizing what you really truly want, like that's what you'll chase. And some people it is Yu-Gi-Oh. Like John, I'm very confident he has a passion for Yu-Gi-Oh that's never gonna die. He's gonna probably be 80 and still selling cards, and I love that about him. That's what makes him John, and it's great.
All right, that's really helpful. So something I actually skipped over. What's been like just YCS tops, regional tops, or how many do you actually have? Because like I don't even know this personally. So do you want to go
Sure.
into about that?
So this is actually the most craziest part. So I was definitely one of the most talked about players between 2014 and 2017. I nailed like three different sponsorships through three different companies, and I got to do a lot of traveling for free. Now, my tops, my like actual like official tops, like if we count like any type of tops or whatever, like I only have like a top seven at a regional. Like I don't know why everybody thinks like I have like all these like tops and stuff. I really don't. Like I only have like a top seven at a regional because like I showed up one day playing Monarchs and I just fucking blew it off. Like I didn't even know how to play Monarchs and I just won. It was great. It was like back in 2017. But I never really like topped events. I did get to play with Billy at this like top four Ascension Dragon tournament, but that was like in the at the YCS, but it wasn't like the event. It was like a special side event for
Oh,
like people.
was it the
And like I
playoffs?
was like,
So,
huh?
was it the playoffs for prize cards? Because we have that still.
Something like that. Yeah, it's like a top four playoff for like prize cards and stuff. And me and Billy actually got paired to play each other, and it was a very very interesting match. I'm pretty sure we went to game three, and I'm pretty sure we had a very very interesting match if I remember correctly. I think he was playing Necros actually at the time. Oh no 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 no! It wasn't Necros. It was fucking. It was the zoo with the Infernoid shit. That's
Oh
what it
right, yeah.
was. That deck was crazy. I remember he played that. I played something else, and it was the most insane match I've ever seen. But yeah, no, it was cool. I never really though had tops. Just a lot of people really knew about me. I traveled a lot. I signed a lot of stuff. I only had one top seven, and that's it.
So that's actually really good that you brought that up. Honestly, I wasn't even preparing for that because like when I was talking to Ediception, he flat out said
Oh,
like just tops don't matter, and whenever I ask advice from a lot of the really good players, they always say the person you're against doesn't actually matter. They could be a world champion and they're still like any other player, kind of thing.
that's very accurate.
It's like I was just talking to you. I've just started talking to you today. I asked you to do this interview 2 hours when knowing, like not even 2 hours knowing you, and I
Yeah.
guessed you were this a very accomplished player, but obviously like you're not. But that's still not a bad thing. You've still got like experience, things to teach, things that are
Oh
really
yeah. Like I
interesting.
mean, I wasn't like good. Like I wasn't like topping events, but like I mean something else and this is something like I actually kind of prided myself in, and this is like something I bring up every once in a while. Like even though I don't have these tops, I did manage to break the top 20 on DNet back whenever it was like running.
Yeah,
Um, and like I was like really like at the top of the leaderboards for like for quite a while, and that's a lot of skill to be like at the top of the leaderboard just with like how many people like are actually good like playing at the time. I don't know how it is now, but like at the time like that's what it was. And I actually did like a lot of like online like gambling tournaments, which definitely happened back then. Where like maybe you'd have like a flight of 8 people, put $10 in,
yeah.
first place like $50,
We
second
definitely
place like
have that.
10.
We still have that in like multiple groups now.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, yeah, I did a lot of those, and like I was consistent with my wins. Like I wasn't. It was like it was something dumb. It was like I won like 50% of my of like every tournament I went like entered. It was crazy.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to end on, like some last minute advice or just anything in general?
Actually, what I'm wanting to do real quick, before, and I actually do have a little bit to say real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and real quick send you this link through Discord.
Yeah.
It's a private it's a private link to a single that I just recorded, and I would really think people might be interested to hear this.
Yeah, I've actually listened to
Um,
it and I think it's really good. So
oh, this one.
I'll put it in the description so people can listen to it if they want to. It's actually really good, and I was surprised like someone who played Yu-Gi-Oh
This
could
one.
make it. If I'm being
This
honest,
one's, this one's actually something you didn't hear.
is it not?
No, like don't put this in the description. Like put like a little bit of the song like actually in the video,
All right.
just like a little bit.
Tell me when to stop.
You'll know what.
All right. It's playing.
You can play like the first minute of it.
Wake up next week, head back down, but I still need some more sleep. Counting and running, I don't ever eat. And the shit be going crazy, I see. And the shit be going crazy, I see. Head back down, but I.
I'm gonna listen to that in my own time. That sounds really, really good.
Thank you.
Is that your voice or are you doing the music?
Yeah, that's me actually.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually going to be the single off my new album that's going to be released January 2nd of next year. That song is going to be called "Wake Up Next Week," and I'm actually performing it next month at DNA Lounge.
I actually really like it. Like the beginning had me questioning a bit, but then it started to really pick up really fast. So yeah,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
yeah. So I'll listen to that in my own time. So, any last minute advice for the people?
Yeah, something that I want to touch on, and this is actually very good that you brought this up, especially because like Ed is like a really good friend of mine, and you brought it up with him, so I got to now say something on it. It is true to never worry about whoever your opponent is, because your opponent could be anyone, and they truly probably don't even know what they're doing themselves. A lot of the thing is keeping your energy up, keeping keeping your wits up. Like don't like lose your mental fortitude like during the matches, because that's how you really lose. You start making mistakes. You're not playing to win anymore. You're playing to not lose. And that's like a very very big thing. But the very last thing I want to go and leave with everybody is that no matter how far in your career, don't ever give up on your dreams, because you never know whenever you could be like right on the edge of getting to wherever you're at. And that's actually something a good friend Patrick Hogan did tell me back in 2015 at an ARG, and I've it's always stuck with me, because a lot of people are always like on that verge of actually getting somewhere, but they just quit. So never give up on your dreams. Y'all got this. Love y'all. Thanks so much for having me on here. I really do appreciate it, my guy.
Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.